Hello and welcome to the News on Map series of Drishti IAS. I am Pooja, and today in this episode we will cover all the news that has been with us for the past couple of days with the help of maps and of course MCQs. So last time I asked you two questions to solve. One was the prelims question and second one was the practice question that I gave you. So without any further ado, let us look at this question which I asked you to solve. As this question belongs to 2012, so one thing that we have to keep in mind over here is that we have to go by the data of 2012 with respect to the second and the third statements. So back then, apart from this particular, you can say statement, which completely was dedicated towards Arunachal Pradesh, but from this one, both these two were also dedicated towards Arunachal Pradesh. So many of you answered it correctly. Arunachal Pradesh was the correct answer. Now, let us talk about this particular question. Arrange the following wetlands of India from west to east. Okay, so from west to east, we have to look at the wetlands, and these are the many wetlands that have been given in our option. Bhoj, Lonar, Nal Sarovar, Kanwartal, and Rudrasagar Lake. Okay, so if we go from west to east, let us see what do we have in our particular option. First was the Nal Sarovar Bird Sanctuary. Okay, then here we can make out that Bhoj is also here. Okay, so Nal Sarovar and Bhoj. Nal Sarovar is the easternmost, sorry, westernmost, not easternmost. So 3 will be the westernmost. Then comes, of course, we have to go by the elimination method as well. So A and C can be eliminated. Now we have to choose from these two. After that, Bhoj and Lonar and Kanwartal. Let us see. Then we have, of course, Nal Sarovar was done, Bhoj was done, Lonar is over here. Okay, and Lonar and Bhoj, they lie very close to each other. Although if we compare these two, this is west to Bhoj according to the longitude. So we have to go by the longitudes. Then we have Lonar, of course. Okay, so after Nal Sarovar, we have Lonar, that is second. Okay, then we have one, that is Bhoj. Okay, after that 4 and 5, Kanwartal and Rudrasagar. Rudrasagar is in Tripura. Okay, so this is the easternmost. Alright, and Kanwartal is over here. So we can see from west to east the arrangement is such that we have to choose D as our correct option. Alright, let us move on and talk about the next news, that is Russia has succeeded in limiting the renewal of critical UN aid operation from Turkey or Turkey to northwest Syria to 6 months. Okay, so here we have to ensure that we know about Syria because this question asks us to solve these statements with respect to Syria. The Tropic of Cancer passes through the middle of Syria. It is bordered by 5 Asian nations and it lies to the east of Black Sea. We have to choose the answer using the codes that have been given. So let us see that if Tropic of Cancer does really pass through the middle of Syria. No, it does not. As you can see with the help of this map, Syria lies completely to the north of Tropic of Cancer. So first statement becomes incorrect. Second is it is bordered by 5 Asian nations. Syria is bordered by Turkey or Turkey, Iraq, that is second. After that we have Jordan, that is third. And we also have Israel, that is 4th, and Lebanon is 5th. Okay, so first statement is not correct, second is correct. Then what does it say to the third statement? It says it lies to the east of the Black Sea, which is also not correct. Why? Because here you see, here is the Black Sea, okay, and it is to the north of Syria. Although if we talk about Mediterranean Sea, it is to the west of Syria. That can give us a hint that to the east of the Mediterranean Sea, Syria lies there, but Black Sea is to the north of it. So only this particular image tells us that second statement is correct, first and third are not correct. So only one statement is correct, is going to be the correct answer over here. So these kind of questions have been completely abided by the current trend that we saw in the latest UPSC prelims paper. Moments after an attack on the advance of the convoy president in Katsina state in the northwest Nigeria, another set of gunmen stormed Kuje medium security prison 50 kilometers outside of Nigeria's capital is city. Last Tuesday, this is the news of last Tuesday. So as we know that many specific regions, specifically West Asia, East Asia, and West Africa, East Africa, European region, specifically those regions which are abiding to become a member of the NATO, these kind of, or European Union, these kind of regions have been in the news very recently. So the Niger River does not pass through which of the following countries? Burkina Faso, Senegal, Guinea, Mali, and Benin. So Niger is the river. Niger is one of the two rivers, River Niger and River Benue. These are the two largest rivers of West Asia. So we have to know about such regions which are very prominent in case of volume, in case of if they are the best or the biggest or the tallest in their own regions. So Niger River actually it originates from the Guinea Highlands at the border of Guinea and Sierra Leone. Okay, and then it has its course like this, finally draining into the Atlantic Ocean, forming a delta in Nigeria. So it passes through Nigeria, it passes through Niger, Mali, Guinea as well. So let us see which ones are not. I think Burkina Faso and Senegal are, of course, Burkina Faso is not having the course of the river, and of course Senegal is also there. Okay, so Senegal and Burkina Faso are the correct answer because it passes through Mali, Guinea, and Benin. Okay, so 1 and 2 only is our correct option because we had to select through which of the particular countries the river Nigeria doesn't pass through, right? Moving on, if we talk about the next set of news, it is with respect to Middle East. Wheat supplies have been hit by war in Ukraine because Ukraine and Russia, they hold a lot of volume in terms of trade, specifically export of wheat. So that has happened for many countries in the region of Asia, Eurasia. Okay, so a wheat laden freight train moving from Russia to Egypt will cross many countries on its course. We have to arrange the following countries through which the freight train will move in the correct order. Okay, so for that we have to have a very good knowledge with respect to the map of the region the question is asking. Iraq, Azerbaijan, Georgia, Israel. Now, these are certain countries which have been in the news for a very long time, specific to their own reasons, but we have to ensure that routes are very prominently understood to us because routes have been asked in the question many times. So, let us look at the map to solve this question. From Russia, we have to go to Egypt, right? So, in this course, first the truck will go from Georgia. This is Georgia, first of all, the small orange region. Okay, then we have Azerbaijan over here. Then we have Iraq. Finally, if we of course take out those countries which have not been asked in the question, so we can ensure that we are answering it correctly. Georgia, Azerbaijan, Iraq, and then we have Israel like this, right? And then finally Egypt. So Georgia is first, right? Then we have Azerbaijan, then we have Iraq, and finally we have Israel. Okay, so the question asks us to follow the correct order. Georgia will be first, then comes Azerbaijan, that will be second, 3-2, and then will be Iraq, and lastly we have Israel. So 3-2-1-4 is the correct answer, option B. Okay, moving on to the next set of information. French officials are heading to Niger to redefine the country's strategy to fight armed groups in the Sahel as its troops have a complete withdrawal from Mali and concerns mount over growing threat to coastal Western African states. So basically Sahel region is highly rich in many sorts of, you can say, energy, renewable energy. It is a good area for getting renewable energy. It is a good area for getting any sorts of fossil fuels. It is a good region for cultural and humanitarian resources as well. So we have to ensure we know such answers. You know, Sahel region, how many countries are there? How many of the following countries are a part of the Sahel region? Benin, Chad, Gambia, Burkina Faso. So we have to choose the correct answer using the codes. 1 country only, 3 countries only, 2 countries only, or all 4 countries. These are our options. Let us look at the Sahel region. See, this is the map of Africa that we are talking about, and this is the Sahel region. All right. And so, in order to ensure that we know about the countries, I have introduced this map. Chad is a part of Sahel, Cameroon, Nigeria, Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali is also a part of it, Guinea, Gambia, Senegal, and Mauritania. Okay, so here we had Benin, Chad, Gambia, Burkina Faso. Okay, so Burkina Faso is a part, so that gives us one. Then I hope there was another question. Chad, Gambia, and Benin. Okay, so yes, Gambia is also a part, right? Then Chad is also a part, so 1 plus 1 plus 1, 3. And Benin, right? Benin is not a part of the Sahel region. So 3 countries only is going to be our correct answer. Option C over here. All right. Moving on to the next set of questions. Now this question is with respect to Indonesia, which is grappling with the first outbreak of foot and mouth disease in nearly 40 years. For that and for other reasons such as because it is changing its capital, I have asked this question for you to ensure that you have revised, because this is a news of a couple of months back that Indonesia is changing its capital by 2024. Consider the following statements with respect to Indonesia. The current capital is located near the northwest coast of Sumatra. Nusantara is situated in the island of Java, and Borneo is the 3rd largest island in the world. So we have to select the correct ones. Now this is a map of Indonesia. Indonesia is a group of islands consisting of Java, Borneo, Sumatra, and Sulawesi. Okay, so if we see Jakarta, Jakarta is over here and it is in the region of northwest, you can say island region of Java and not Sumatra. Okay, so this is definitely not correct. This is Java. That makes the first statement incorrect. Then Nusantara is actually in Borneo, in the East Kalimantan region, somewhere over here. Okay, so Nusantara is basically in Borneo and not in Java. So second statement is also not correct. And Borneo basically, yes, it is the 3rd largest. Borneo is the 3rd largest island of the world. All right, so only the 3rd statement is correct over here. D is the correct answer that we have to choose. Okay, moving on to the next question. It is with respect to India, Israel, US and UAE. They have come together to boost business and diplomatic ties to have an edge to hedge bets in the world of turmoil. Okay, so you can say I2, U2, that is India, Israel, I2, U2, UAE and US. This is also being dubbed as West Asian Quad. Okay, and Quad itself is sometimes known as Asian NATO. So we are very confused what is what. So first of all, we have to understand that we know about the regions. A person travels from Israel to India using only land route. Keyword over here. What is the minimum number of international borders the person needs to cross? Okay, so from India, Israel to India we are going, right? So from Israel over here to India, how many minimum number of international borders? So we have to choose a route through which a person pass the minimum number of countries. First is of course the Israel-Jordan border over here, right? And then Jordan to probably not, if we go from here, no, we won't find a good land route. So then from Jordan to Iraq, number 2. Okay, 1 and 2. Then from Iraq to Iran, 3rd border. Then from, of course, we can go from Iran to Pakistan over here, 4th border. And then finally India. We do not have to take care of that we are not having good relations with Pakistan or Afghanistan is in turmoil. That is completely a different topic. But here, if we go by just the rule that is given in the question, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 borders, right? So the correct answer will be option A, that is 5. Moving on to the next set of questions. Before that, let me correct the size of the pen. Okay, yes, moving on to the next question, which is with respect to Bab el-Mandeb and different straits. So the Bab el-Mandeb Strait is gaining prominence as China and India eye for economic and strategic outreach. India with I2, U2, China is having many, you can say, head of the state meetings outside Asia with respect to that region. So match the following sections correctly. Straits and regions. Otranto, Yemen, Djibouti. Bass Strait, Japan, Russia. Bab el-Mandeb Strait, Italy, Albania. Le Perouse Strait, Australia. Let us look at the option that we have to choose from. This is like match the following. Okay. So if we talk about that, then first is Strait of Otranto, right? So Strait of Otranto goes between, of course, it is in the Ionian Sea, first of all, know that. Secondly, it is between Albania and Italy. Okay. So Albania and Italy, that means Otranto is, yes, A3. Right? So whichever option doesn't have A, we can, A with respect to 3, we can cancel those options. Then we have to choose from B and C. Then next was Bass Bab el-Mandeb. Let's see, next is Bab el-Mandeb. It is between here, between Red Sea and Gulf of Aden, between the countries of Yemen and Djibouti. Okay, so you see that gives us the second option, a second pair, that Bab el-Mandeb is, of course, with Yemen and Djibouti. Okay, so C has the correct match with 1. Okay, again these two, C has the correct match with 1. Then let's look at the Bass Strait and La Perouse Strait. So Bass Strait joins Tasmania Island with Australia. Okay, the mainland Australia. So Bass is Australia and La Perouse is joining the Hokkaido Island of Japan with the Sakhalin Island of Russia. Okay, so here that makes us Bass Strait is option 4, and of course the La Perouse Strait is second. Okay, La Perouse is second and Bass Strait was with Australia. I guess D2 is the correct answer over here. D2, yes. So finally we have option C as our correct answer. Okay, these are the questions you might get asked in your examination. Next is hunger is said to worsen in Haiti amidst worsening gang violence, high cost of food and also rising inflation. The UN World Food Programme has warned putting humanitarian assistance efforts in the crisis-stricken nation at risk. Again, Caribbean islands have been in the news recently. So, which of the following capitals of the Caribbean islands lie closest to the equator? Kingston, Havana, Port-au-Prince, Santo Domingo. So, let us see. Now, Santo Domingo is the capital of Dominican Republic. Then, Port-au-Prince is the capital of Haiti. Kingston is the capital of Jamaica. And Havana is the capital of Cuba, which is closest to the equator compared to the other 3. So the correct answer will be, of course, option B, that is Havana. Again, nearness to Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, Tropic, of course, equator, prime meridian, these can also be asked in your question with respect to news that has been there. So Israel is considering allowing Palestinians in the occupied West Bank to fly abroad via its Raymond Airport in the Negev desert. Okay, so with respect to desert, we have the question: a person travels from the following deserts from east to west using land and sea routes. Okay, select the correct order of the journey. Lut Desert, then we have Negev Desert, Negev Desert, Gibson, Atacama, Sonoran. Okay, so from easternmost, Gibson Desert is in Australia. From here, the person might go to Lut Desert. Okay, then Negev Desert in Israel. Okay, then we have Atacama in South America, and then finally we have Sonoran, right? Sonoran was in our option. Yes, Sonoran after that, westernmost from the options. Okay, so these are the kind of deserts we have to understand. We know the regions of important desert, important mountains, important rivers. Okay, so Gibson is first. Then we have, after Gibson, we have Lut and Negev. Okay, so that is, of course, first and second. 3, 1, 2. And then we have Atacama, and then we have Sonoran. 3, 1, 2, 4, 5. 3, 1, 2, 4, 5. Option B is the correct answer. Moving on to the next set of questions, researchers have identified a new species of evergreen tree which is belonging to the genus Miliusa from the Agasthyamala Biosphere Reserve in the southern arm of Eastern Ghats in Thiruvananthapuram district. So the question is, it is located in the southernmost end of the Western Ghats. The reserve includes 3 wildlife sanctuaries as well as the Kalakad Mundanthurai Tiger Reserve. It is the home to the Kani tribes. So which of the following biosphere reserve is being referred to by in the above paragraph? Okay. So yes, if we talk about the southernmost region of the Western Ghats, Agasthyamala Biosphere Reserve is found over there. Also, it is home to the Kani tribes and it includes many important regions. This is the Agasthyamala Biosphere Reserve, consisting of Pepara Wildlife Sanctuary, Niger Wildlife Sanctuary, also the Shardani Wildlife Sanctuary. And as you can see, here lies Agasthyamala, the southernmost region of with respect to Biosphere Reserve in the Western Ghats. Okay, so you see, it is also home to the Kani tribes. Option B here is the correct answer. A Myanmar Navy ship, it moved at the mouth of Kaladan River, meanwhile conducting inspections of ferry boats from the Pokhtha township going to and from Sitwe on a daily basis. So Kaladan River is of course very important to our country and Myanmar, and of course this question is with respect to rivers of Northeast Asia. Okay, river system of Northeast India, not Asia, sorry. The Kaladan River is the only river to span across both India and Myanmar. In India, the Barak River covers all the 7 sister states. So with respect to this, we have to select the correct answer. Now this is the Kaladan River, which is found in the Eastern Mizoram region of India, and of course, it forms an international border between India and Myanmar. It is the 5th largest river in the world, 5th. Also, one thing that we have to understand over here is that it is known as 𝐃𝐫𝐢𝐬𝐡𝐭𝐢 in India. And not only Kaladan, but Manipur Reserve and Tizu River. Okay, Manipur River and Tizu. This river also flows from India to Myanmar. So not only Kaladan, but Manipur is also there and Tizu River is also there. So that makes the first statement is incorrect because here the word only was there. And in India, the Barak River covers all the 7 sister states. So Barak River, if we talk about, in the Northeast India, the major river system that is found over there is of course Brahmaputra and Barak River. And with respect to the Kaladan River is kind of a subsystem. Okay, and there are many smaller rivers, but major system is of Barak and Brahmaputra. So Barak does not span through all these 7 sisters of Northeast India because 7 sisters also include, apart from Assam, Manipur, Nagaland, Tripura, Mizoram, we also have Arunachal Pradesh and Sikkim. Apart from Arunachal Pradesh and Sikkim, all other states are covered by the Barak River. Okay, this is the Barak River basin. So second and first, both are not correct. Option D here is the correct answer, neither 1 nor 2. Moving on to the next set of questions. Signaling a potential risk of increased human-wildlife conflict in the tropical forest of Eastern Ghats in future, a new study has revealed that the human activities in the forest are overlapping with the protection activities, which is not a good thing. Moving on, which of the following national parks do not fall in the Eastern Ghats? Okay, so Sri Venkateswara National Park, Papikonda National Park, Gindi National Park and Vansda National Park. Let us look at that. Now this is the region that is showing us the national parks, right? So here is the Papikonda National Park, here in the Eastern Ghats only. Then we have Gindi National Park over here and Sri Venkateswara National Park. All are found in the Eastern Ghats. Whereas Vansda National Park is in Western Ghats. So that makes only Vansda to be our correct answer over here because we had to select the national park which is not found in the Eastern Ghats. So option D is correct. Moving on. Russia is continuing to support units in the Kundankulam nuclear power plant notwithstanding geopolitical developments, which is a good thing for India. How many of the following nuclear power plants of India are situated near the seashore? Narora Atomic Power Plant, Kaiga, Kundankulam and Tarapur. So let us see the map. Narora is in Uttar Pradesh and it has no region of the seashore. Whereas you see Tarapur, Kaiga in Karnataka, Tarapur in Maharashtra and Kundankulam in Tamil Nadu. These 3 are such power stations which are found on the shore. So 1 only, 2 only, 3 only or all 4. Apart from Narora, all are the coastal nuclear power plants and power plants. So 3 only is the correct answer. Okay, because how many of the following nuclear power plants? This was the question. So 3 only is the correct answer. Moving on, the Indian Meteorological Department has predicted rains for another 2 days across Karnataka, and due to heavy rains, the memorials at Hampi, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, have been inundated. So with respect to this, we have a question. We have to, from north to south, that is from top to bottom, arrange the following World Heritage Sites in India: Sun Temple, rock shelters of Bhimbetka, Rani Ki Vav, Hampi and Pattadakal. So let us see northernmost. This map is showing us the UNESCO World Heritage Sites in India. So here is Rani Ki Vav in Gujarat. Okay. Then rock shelters of Bhimbetka in Madhya Pradesh. Then the question was with respect to Hampi as well and Pattadakal, which both of these are in Karnataka. And then one more was there. I think it was the Sun Temple, right? Yes, Sun Temple. So yes, it's in Odisha. First we have Rani Ki Vav, then rock shelters, then Sun Temple, then Pattadakal and Hampi of Karnataka. So let us see. Rani Ki Vav, then rock shelters 2, then Sun Temple 3, 2, 1, and then Pattadakal 5, and then 4. Last is Hampi, southernmost compared to all these. 3, 2, 1, 5, 4. 3, 2, 1, 5, 4. Option B is our correct answer over here. Let us move on to the next question. This is with respect to UPSC Prelims 2015. We will solve this together today. Which one of the following countries of Southwest Asia does not open out to the Mediterranean Sea? Syria, Jordan, Lebanon and Israel is our option, is our answers to choose from. So yes, this is the Mediterranean Sea. Syria has a border, a coastal border with Mediterranean Sea. So does Israel, okay, here. And of course, one more was there, Lebanon, over here. So apart from Jordan, which was in our answers, all these have a border with the Mediterranean Sea. Jordan is the correct answer because we had to choose which does not open to the Mediterranean Sea. Okay, moving on for the practice question for the next segment. Consider the following pairs. We have to match the glaciers with the states to which they belong. Chorabari Glacier, Ladakh; Zemu Glacier, Sikkim; Sonapani Glacier, Uttarakhand; Milam Glacier, Himachal Pradesh. So here, what do we have to see? How many pair or pairs given above are incorrectly matched. Don't get confused, okay? Only 1 pair, 2 pair, 3 pair or all 4 pair. So that's it. Answer it correctly. Thank you so much for watching.